What's up everyone, RetroBsessed here. We are back today with another video on my top 5 series. Today we're going to be talking about vehicular combat style racing games. You're not going to want to miss this one, guys. Let's go. Welcome back everyone, how we doing today? Like I said in the intro, my name is Tom, aka RetroBsessed. It's an obsession. Before we get started, if you like all things retro from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, whether it's video games, toys, movies, music, anything and everything, go ahead and do me a favor, hit that subscribe button for me guys, and while you're there, hit that bell to be notified every time I make a new video, releasing every 2 weeks for you so you don't miss it. In today's video, we're going to be going over my top 5 favorite combat style racing games. One of the funnest styles of racing games you can play. Now, when I talk about combat racing style games, I can actually categorize this in 2 subgenres. First, we have assault style. With this style, these games generally have multiple vehicles to choose from, each with their own special abilities, strengths, weaknesses, weapons, and you typically have to continue to play and beat races to unlock more cars, bigger and better weapons, better armor, upgrade motors, etc, etc. Then we have the destruction style, where there are no weapons. The only weapon you have is your vehicle itself, and you win by any means necessary. Now, I could not just narrow this genre down to just 5 games. It would just be impossible. There are too many damn good games. So in today's episode, I'm not only going to show you my top 5 favorite assault racing games, and I'm going to be showing you my top 5 demolition destruction style games. First up, we got the assault style in no particular order. First up, we got Road Rash 2 on the Sega Genesis. Road Rash 2, released in 1992 by EA, this game was centered around a series of road races throughout the United States where you must win races to advance to higher difficulty races, all while using your fists and weapons to hinder the other racers. In this installment of the series, they added a split-screen 2-player mode, nitrous oxide, and chains as a weapon. Next up on the list, one of my all-time favorite games, Rock and Roll Racing, Super Nintendo. Released in 1993 on the Super Nintendo by Interplay Productions, this game is a 4-player race where each race consists of 4 laps with an isometric perspective where you have to navigate tight turns, maneuver through hills and dips without falling or jumping over the guardrail and dying. Where racing, attacking the competitor vehicles is almost a must. You're actually rewarded with attack bonuses every time you provide the finishing blow against your opponent using the front or rear weapons. Alongside weapons, there are tons of road obstacles to avoid running over, like mines, oil slicks, snowbanks, and even lava in some races. Alright, up next in the list is a game that I think is probably the best game in the series, and you can fight me over that. That's just my opinion. That is Twisted Metal Black on the PS2. What do you guys think about that? Twisted Metal Black is the 5th installment to the Twisted Metal series, released in 2001 by Sony Computer Entertainment, released for the PS2. In Twisted Metal Black, the use of ballistic projectile weapons make this game absolutely amazing. A variety of different weapons and upgrades with pickups scattered throughout the stage. The objective to this game? To be the last vehicle standing. A little different than other Twisted Metal games, each character has their own story where they narrate from their own point of view. A total of 15 characters to choose from, with both new and returning characters from previous games. 10 characters available right off the bat, and the other 5 must be found and unlocked. Up next is the insanely addictive game that is Full Auto Xbox 360. Let's go. Full Auto was released in 2012, published by Sega, releasing for the Xbox 360. Some people would argue that this is the most destructive racing game ever created, giving you everything you can want in a game: amazing graphics, intense speed, massive destruction, sleek, customizable vehicles, innovative features, and tough competition. But that's not the best part. By allowing you to add machine guns, rockets, mines, smoke screens, and cannons to the mix as well. And if that wasn't enough, you actually get rewarded with boosts you can earn to dust the competition. The more things you blow up, the more energy boost you receive. Alright guys, last up on the assault style games. This game I was just introduced to, but I'm glad I did because this is an absolutely badass game. Reminds me of like 3 or 4 different games put into one. I could not put the controller down when I started playing this. So awesome. That is 187 Ride or Die Xbox. In order to be the top dog of this game, you must race and defeat opponents throughout a variety of stages, all set in Los Angeles' infamous South Central LA. When OG Dupree is shot 9 times by his Mexican mafia nemesis Cortez, Dupree's prime real estate is up for grabs. Cortez and his crew of thugs are poised to take over Dupree's hood. Dupree calls on Buck, the only guy who can shift gears in street races, and the only guy who can blaze guns combat style. Buck is given the task to defend Dupree's hood against Cortez and his crew at all costs. If he fails, not only Dupree's hood, but Buck Owens' life will be lost. Well, there's my top 5 assault style games. What was your guys' favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Up next, we have the demolition destruction style games. Check it out, guys. Now, first up on my list of destruction games, we have Split Second on the PS3. Split Second When Speed Is Not Enough, a dynamic new TV show on a global stage, a city created for speed and destruction. Join the race, trigger the action, and crash your competition. Released in 2010 by BlackRock Studio and published by Disney Interactive Studios. Released for Windows PC, PS3, and the Xbox 360. The scene is set for the most outrageous televised motorsport event ever created in a city built for speed, destruction, and maximum pyrotechnic spectacle. Every racetrack is lined with power plays, race-changing traps designed to smash your opponents off the track at the touch of a button on your controller. So winning each event is as much about ruthlessly wrecking your rivals' cars as it is about taking the best line through the corners. Remember, when speed is not enough, the city is your weapon. Alright, up next on the list, this game was actually introduced to me by a buddy of mine. That is Mr. Zach at Iowa Retro Gamer Dad. Go check him out. I will leave a link in the description below. Awesome guy, amazing gamer, amazing friend, just an all-around awesome dude. Go check him out. Tell him I sent you if you haven't already. But he had mentioned this game to me. I've never heard of it before, but I decided to get it. I spent like $7 on it. It was really cheap, but an awesome game. I'm so glad I found this game. I haven't been able to put the controller down, and that is for the PS2, and that is Destruction Derby Arenas PS2. Destruction Derby Arenas was released in 2004 by the Gathering of Developers, released for PS2, with 7 game modes, from the championship circuit to an all-out deathmatch. 20 hot rods to choose from, customizable upgrades, 9 power-ups to burst your performance and cripple the competition, and 18 insane tracks and arenas. And adding online mode, you can now play online with support of up to 20 players at once. In this game, you are also awarded for aggressive driving. Crash your car, 100 points for minimal damage, 300 points for medium damage, and 500 points for maximum damage. And for an additional 500 points, slam another car into the barriers. Alright guys, we're almost there. We are down to the last 3 games. Now this next game on my list, I do not actually own this game, so I would like to give a huge shout out to my buddy Mezmoron on Instagram. A really good guy, one of the biggest game collections in the world. Freaking just awesome, like hundreds of complete game sets, insane game basement. All around good dude. Go over there, go to Instagram, go check him out, tell him I sent you. If he did YouTube, he would be absolutely amazing. That's how much stuff this guy has in his room, is absolutely amazing. The game is actually getting pretty expensive. I have it on my list to watch out for. I did happen to come across it on Mercari about 2 weeks ago, and literally 5 minutes after I got the pop-up, I went in and it was already sold. That's how fast I went. It sold for $15. This game usually sells anywhere from like 60 to 75 bucks, sometimes less, sometimes more, but on average about 50 bucks or more. But yeah, that game is Test Drive Eve of Destruction on the PS2. Super amazing, badass game here. Released in 2004, made by Atari, and released for the OG Xbox and the PS2. Straight from the small town tracks across America, it's fender flattening mayhem, with being the fastest doesn't guarantee you a checkered flag. From outrageous demolition derbies to head-on suicide races, rip through the carnage in 25 insane events, wreak havoc in over 30 vehicles including cars, buses, hearses, and even ambulances. Take on single races, career mode, split-screen multiplayer races, and all while jamming out to heavy metal music. That's what I'm talking about. Up next is a game that I believe is the most badass destruction style game ever made. At least everyone else would agree with me, and that is Burnout 3, The Takedown on the PS2. Burnout 3 Takedown, released in 2004, developed by Criterion, published by EA, and released for the PS2 and the OG Xbox. Combine aggressive high-speed racing with the ultimate in slamming crash action to boost your way to the top. Take down the competition across the USA, Europe, and the Far East in more than 60 race events, or crush all comers with junction jamming crash event pileups. Reap the rewards of dangerous driving, earning cash money and burnout points to unlock more than 60 vehicles, skill trophies, front page headlines, and so much more. Alright guys, here it is, down to the nitty gritty. Before I release it, I want you guys to take a pick of what you think my next and possibly one of my favorite destruction style derby game is. Go ahead, I'll give you 5 seconds to guess. You give up? That is Wreckfest. Drive hard, die last. Now, Recfest is a fairly new game published by THQ in 2019 for the Xbox One and PS4, but was originally released for the Windows PC in 2018. Recfest is described as the successor to the Flat Out series and a cross between Flat Out, Destruction Derby, and Street Rod, a 1989 PC game. The game includes a variety of features including banger racing and demolition derby, with the goal being to win the race or be the sole survivor of the derby. The races themselves focus heavily on vehicular combat, where players have to find a balance between defensive tactics such as avoiding debris or opponent vehicles. Recfest has received multiple awards such as Best Sports Game at Gamescom, Racing Game of the Year at the DICE Awards, and Best Game Original Racing at the National Academy of Video Game Trade Reviewers Awards. Now, I've actually been streaming Wreckfest on the PC recently over the last maybe 2 or 3 months. Absolutely flat out love this game. Such an amazing game, such cool stuff, awesome DLC cars that you can buy separately. I have the General Lee and a couple really nice monster trucks, a Ford Raptor truck. Just some awesome cars that you can unlock. I'm about 90% of the story mode, almost done. I'm in the very last race series, which is called the Professional Series, and I think I have like 6 races in that. And within those 6 races, there's probably like 3 or 4 races in each of those cups. So I'm almost there. I'm about 90% done with the game. Then I'm gonna start doing some online game mode, because I heard they have a lot of like online tournaments and competitions and stuff like that. So I'd really like to start in there and see how good I do against real people. But unfortunately, the PS4 game, the PS4 version, not that all great. Don't get me wrong, the graphics are amazing. I have it hooked up to my 4K TV HDR mode. Graphics are absolutely amazing. It's just that the controls, maybe it's just because I got so used to playing with keyboard that the controller just seems really weird. And I actually put it in my racing simulator right here, and it absolutely was garbage on the racing simulator. Even in first person view, the steering was very not sloppy, but there was a delay. There was almost like a half second to 1 second delay. When I would turn the car, literally it would take a half to 1 second later, and then the car would turn itself. There's a pretty good delay with this racing simulator. If you haven't had those problems before, let me know. If you played Wreckfest on the PS4 with the racing simulator, if you're having the same issues, I was playing it with the controller, and it's definitely a lot better with the controller. Playing it on the PC, I just flat out love it. I know, because I've been playing it for the last couple months on the PC with the keyboard. Absolutely amazing game to play. One of my favorite new gen race games of all time. Absolutely love this game, Wreckfest. All right, guys, there you have it. There is my top 5 assault style and demolition destruction style games. Very awesome. So you guys got a treat. You guys got 10 games on this genre, this combat style racing genre. I could not narrow it down to 5, so I kind of separated them into 2 subcategories. Let me know what you guys thought below. Let me know what you guys' favorite game from each of the series was, or if you have one favorite game out of all these that just trumps all the other games. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was actually one of my favorite ones to do. One of my favorite subgenres of racing of all time. Absolutely love these games to death. All right, and if you like this video, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. It helps the video out either way, guys. Whether you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, it puts the video in the algorithm, and I absolutely love it. And I absolutely love you guys. thank you very much for sticking around. Hope you guys enjoyed. And while you're here, if you are new here, thank you very much for sticking around. And while you're here, hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that bell to be notified of my new videos coming out every other Friday for you so you don't miss one. Make sure to check out my merch. I do have merch available in the description below. You will find a link there and a direct link. All proceeds go back directly into the channel. Nothing in my pocket. Whether better video lighting, I'm saving up for a better camera, maybe a DSLR camera later on down the road. All proceeds go directly back into the channel. Don't forget to check out my sponsors as well. I'm going to post them here, and there. Go check them out. Links down below and promo codes to save you guys between 10 to 20% off. Some awesome good deals there. Until next time, guys, have a good one. Be safe. I am Retro Obsessed. It's an obsession. Have a good one, guys, and peace.